Welcome to Trauma Cupcakes, the nexus where geekery, laughter, and gaming memories collide. I was thinking in the beginning we could talk about how we all met, and that was on World of Warcraft. John, if you want to tell your story.
I'm trying to think of when I started.
That's cool.
I think I started in the beta. So 2003, early 2004?
You were in the beta?
Yeah, I was in the beta. I was in the beta back when the undead didn't have undead skin. They were just basically really ugly humans. And night elves were
Yeah.
night elves weren't night elves yet. They were just really anorexic, like Paris Hilton looking characters.
Oh man,
Yeah, that was the beta models.
how the blood elves are kind of like right now.
Pretty much.
Actually, do you guys remember in Legion, the expansion Legion, they introduced the new elf race, and you had to give them mana, and the before you gave them mana, that's kind of what night elves used to look like.
Oh,
Those
man.
crackheads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's I remember that, and and that was I didn't play a lot of that, but I played it enough, and I was like, oh, this is cool, and then I don't think I played it again until release, and then I started. When did WoW come out? 2005, 2004.
I think 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I started. I started like a month or two after it started. It officially released, I think. Maybe.
Maybe.
How about you, Ryan?
I started 2 months after its release.
And were you playing anything before, or what got you into WoW? How did you find out about it?
I was a big StarCraft fan, and I would bounce between StarCraft and Warcraft 3. Warcraft 3? Warcraft 2? I don't know, somewhere there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, I was always seeing Blizzard news with the old Battle.net.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Diablo 2 I played in there, too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So then when, of course, they said they were working on a new game, I was interested.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Warcraft again, which I'm like, oh, I don't really want to play another Warcraft. But then when I found out that it was not an RTS, it really, drew me in. And I checked it all out online, and I was kind of hooked right from the start. And that was probably 6 to 8 months before its release.
Wow.
So I was kind of following it. And the reason I didn't get it until 2 months after release
Here it
is
goes.
because we're in Canada.
Yeah, I was supposed to say, here it
I
goes.
ordered it. Pre-order. A week before release. I didn't get it for a month after that.
Oh. You
And
had
then there were
delayed.
delays, and it was horrible.
I got into it later in the game. I believe it was in 2005. And the only reason why is because at all of the parties, the family parties, I was like, where are my cousins? They disappeared, and they got really into WoW. And before that, they were constantly would have LAN parties with Counter-Strike. Everybody would take in their, back then you didn't have the flat monitors, right? Everybody took their heavy ass computers and we'd set it on precariously on makeshift tables of coffee tables, and we'd try and put beanbag chairs together and try to have I watched them play Counter-Strike or whatever.
A LAN party.
Yeah, a LAN party, yeah. And they were playing World of Warcraft, and that's why I got into it. I was like, okay, there's got to be something into this, and I started, and that's when I made my hunter, and I didn't know about the talent tree, honestly, until people I don't know. Was it you, John, that actually was like, you asked me what I put my points in, and I was like, what?
What points?
What?
She when I first met you, you had the cat from Badlands, and I went, "Oh, you're Beastmaster," and you went, "I have the cat," and I went, "What does that mean?" And then our friend Harry at the time went, "She doesn't have any of her talent points picked," and I went, "Oh, crap." And I remember Harry and you were talking about talent points or something. Like, I think you had a couple picked, but I think they were just like scattered.
Yeah, you know what? If
I think
I
you had-
had, it was something I might have misclicked because I had no idea there was a talent tree.
You had, well, I want to say you had like maybe like 10 in, and then you just had like 40 or 30 just like sitting around, just hanging out.
Yeah, I just wanted to spread it through the thing. I thought you were supposed to share among the talent trees. It was bad. So, yeah, I was the original noob.
The original term for hunters.
Yeah, I was thinking that in my head,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to say it out loud.
Yeah, I actually got into WoW because I had a Game Boy Advance or Game Boy, yeah, Advance. I was playing the old Legacy of Goku games on it. Went to one of my dad's truck driver friend's house, and his wife was playing WoW, and she saw I had a Game Boy, and she was like, "Hey, you're gonna want to check this out." And this was in the beta phase, and she was like, "Look at this," and I was like, "That is the most amazing thing I've ever seen." Because at that point, I don't think we didn't really do computers too much, because I was still playing like Metal Gear Solid on the PS1. And I think I remember the first computer I ever got to get WoW was that old Hot Wheels computer. I don't know if anyone's ever seen it. It's literally just an entire computer like modeled with Hot Wheels color schemes, and it came with a Hot Wheels game, came with a Hot Wheels steering wheel and pedals. It was the piece of crap computer that barely ran WoW, and that was the first computer we ever got just to play WoW. And that was how I found out about WoW.
And I met you first, and
Yes.
I was it in Fellwood or
It
no?
was in Gadgetron, Daenerys.
Oh God!
I was pulled away violently by Harry from doing PvP because I was trying to get to Commander, and he was like, "Hey man, I got some friends. We need to go over this ZF run." And I was like, "Now?" He's like, "Yeah, now." And so I had to go and leave Stormwind to come all the way to Daenerys, which in 2005 was like an hours of fucking. You gotta get your slow mount, your fast mount. You gotta take a 30-minute flight path
You
to go to
didn't,
Daenerys.
you didn't have a mount at that time too.
No, because
You ran.
I only PvP. Then all I did was Altric Valley, so I just ran from the fucking door of Altric Valley to the boss, tanked the boss, left. That was it, and then I just repaired my gear. This is my first MMO ever. It's the first like real game I ever played that wasn't Metal Gear Solid or like Final Fantasy X. So I just had gold, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. All right, now the next PvP match. Like to this day, I think I'm almost exalted with the Arathi Basin guys, and I think I'm exalted with everyone else.
That's
Like
it.
it's all I did from like I hit level like 20, and the game was like, hey, you should check this out, and I was like, okay, cool, what's that? And then I figured out I never had to do quests again because it just gave me XP, and that was it. I was hooked. I wanted that. I saw some dude with the Grand Marshal armor, and I was just like, it was love at first sight. Like, I want that now.
I want to do that when I grow up.
Yep. And I just started PvPing. There's a lot more stuff in between there, like meeting RK and learning how to tank and just having the crap beat out of me. But yeah, I met you in Daenerys,
Yep.
and then we ran ZF.
That was my first ever well, other than seeing you guys in BFD, I think you were in RK early on that time, but yeah, ZF was my first one. I had no idea what was happening, but Haber he was like some kind of celebrity or something. He had a whole bunch of hunters.
Oh, he knew everybody. He he was the like. This is before World of Warcraft had multiple servers linking into one server, cross server progression, all that stuff. It was if you were on a server, that was it. Everyone on that server knew each other. It was a community, and Harry knew everybody.
Harry is the reason why we had Baron's chat.
Yes,
Because
pretty much. Yeah.
every single time I logged on, he was causing something on Baron's
Oh yeah,
chat.
dude. It was he was a menace to society
There's always
for
one.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And then I was a menace after meeting him, and then he was like, "Hey, we could do stuff like pulling dragons to Stormwind and killing people and making GMs have to come deal with that." And I was like, "I don't know what that means. Let's do it."
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm punching
Yeah.
the dragon. I'm like,
Oh no, there was days where I would be on and Harry would be on and we'd be in a blasted lands and Jane was like, "What?" or Zell
yeah.
would be like, "What are you guys doing?" And I'm like, "Kiting." Why? What are you kiting? You'll see. Just go Stormwind.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
exactly. Just go to Stormwind.
Okay.
Yeah,
Goes to Stormwind, and then it's just fire and brimstone and dead bodies everywhere. You see a GM floating in the air back when they used to have those. It was great. And then we just get hate mail, and that was when I learned how to ignore people.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I'm not going to stop doing this. This is hilarious.
Your ignore list probably rivals Santa
I had to-
Claus's naughty and nice list.
I had to download an add-on to extend my ignore list. Like, I didn't know there was a limit in Vanilla WoW, but there was a limit, and I hit it very quickly. Plus, the
I
bot.
just kind of removed my general tab. I put on a private tab where I'd have access to friends, and I wouldn't listen to any general. So if anybody whispered me, it wouldn't be on there. I basically ignored everybody.
Oh, trust me, I know.
didn't need a list. Everybody was on it.
Yeah, no, I figured that one out very quickly, because
Yeah.
I would, after we became friends, I would whisper you, and I'd be like, he doesn't talk much. Like, 3 days of messages, nothing. And then one day you'd just be like, hi. I'm like, hey, I've been messaging you. You're like, oh yeah, no, I don't have that on. Like, okay, so you don't hate me. Good to know.
You hate everybody.
You hate yeah. I don't hate you particular. It's just everyone has a bubble.
Ah, Ryan. Now, you met Ryan first.
Yes.
That's the story, that Ryan,
That's-
I think...
Yeah.
I was his golden key to Grand Marshal.
Did you guys PvP for a long time?
That's yeah.
You were like, if I was the F1 driver, you were my car.
Yeah.
I was nothing without that car once I discovered it.
I think
It was Warsong Gulch.
Was it Warzone?
Yes. Yeah.
And this
Well-
entire time, I thought it was... Or was it like randoms? You guys would just...
Me and another friend found you in AB, but it was Warsong Gulch that was the like, oh my god, this guy, this is Grand Marshal, here we come. You were a menace.
And then I remember guild chat. You guys were like saying the guild leader at the time, right? He was guild leader at the time. Kaj was leader. I don't remember. Oh
No,
or was
I
it?
was.
No, yeah, it was like a
I assume you're talking about after IFC.
yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
But
I've always been the GM.
yeah, that's right. Because you didn't care. You're like,
Yeah, I
okay,
didn't care.
save it. Send the complaints to me. I will
Yeah,
just
exactly.
ignore them.
I was the CEO, and you were HR.
yeah.
And you were way better at that job because I think I was telling my wife we were playing WoW last night and she lost attention and I died and I was like, if you were in my guild in classic I'd have kicked you. And she's like, no, you wouldn't have. I'm like,
Yeah.
go ask Zell. I'd have kicked you. I'd have kicked you right there.
Oh my god, I have never seen somebody. You made G kicking like fuck you, like a middle finger.
It was a goal.
There was no
It
warning.
was on a macro.
It was.
It was on a macro.
It was on a,
It was on a macro.
It was on a macro. Holy shit! Yeah.
Our rogue Kaja used to whisper and joke with me that someone would get kicked from the guild every time we did Ubers.
Yeah. But really,
Like,
would you blame? Really? No.
I mean, well, that's why we stopped inviting people because it was just easier to just cycle through newbies than recruit someone in the guild and like test them, and then I'd have to kick them.
But yeah, you sent me. You're like, talk to this person.
I sent you basically a love letter for him.
Like,
I was like, I love him. I need him.
and
Please
then
make this work.
now, even though we're married now, come to find out that I was pesty. But he says it's because he thought I was a dude. But
Well, we all thought you were a dude.
until all the smiley faces came.
Yeah, well, everyone thought you were a dude because at that point, I think one, internet history and MMOs specifically, I don't think really any of us had ever encountered women playing video games as a dude.
It was always like guys in real life. That's the only
Yeah.
girl.
Yep,
And back then too, I figured, what the heck would a girl be talking to me for?
true. We all know that feeling.
Little did you know I stalked you in
Yeah.
the Ironforge AH because back then you had to buy Fade Leaf, right?
Yeah.
And I was an alchemist all the time, so
And I had a tea addiction. I needed my swift thistle.
Your
sorry.
thistle tea.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, and then after that we pretty much went through a whole bunch of stuff together, and it started with WoW as our first MMO.
Well,
but then
we need to cover the fact that Mr. Ryan here was a very well-geared rogue in Classic. And
Yeah,
he
if I was
was
a noob and had crap gear, it would be totally different. There would be no love.
If you were a noob with the personality trait, totally different scenario. But the fact that you were basically a lawnmower was amazing, and everybody was the grass.
yeah.
Like you were a lawnmower on diesel. Like it was amazing to watch. Because it would just be like 4 people. First guy gets blinded. Second guy gets gouged. Third guy's dead. Fourth guy, you vanish. Steep shot. Oh, that guy's dead. Now you're killing the dude you got gouged. Oh, he's dead. And then the last guy would just be like, "I'm gonna leave," and you're like, "No, you're not."
Don't forget the add-on coming, which I distract to keep them in place.
Yes. It was ridiculous.
Okay,
I remember
that is true. That is true.
to just because I was really young and dumb at trying to talk to people, I specifically farmed lockboxes so I had a reason to talk to you. I spent so many hours farming lockboxes so I could talk to you.
I think
'Cause
I
I was
even
just like-
told you one time, isn't there somebody else that can unlock them?
Oh yeah, no, I had Kaja. I had him. He was like,
That's
yeah,
right.
you know,
We
I had my
two
own
other
rogue.
rogues in the guild.
Yeah, yeah.
I had my own rogue. I made a rogue after meeting you because I was like, rogues are cool. To this day, my rogue is still just based off of you. Like his entire RP personality is just like you.
That is true though, because he toggled through his characters, and I knew exactly who the rogue was when
Yeah.
you showed it.
I have my rogue on WoW is currently wearing the most dapper pimp outfit that could ever exist, and it is purely based on the fact that your character was just 100% fucking just pure dopeness.
Do you remember my zebra striped pimp hat?
Yes, I do. I remember. This was, I think it was Wrath. I remember going into the.
But thank God he kept the hat on, because you don't want to see the hair. Come on, we gotta knock him down a peg.
Well, actually, it was the face. You had the before they updated it. There was like that.
Yeah.
Just daunting, dark looking. Like your character has never slept for 1,000 years.
Yeah, with the
face.
dark circle around
With the gnarl
eyes.
too. Yeah.
Gnarl, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're like,
Which
that's why you
I
wore the
remember.
hood.
I remember we asked. We were like, "Can we see your character's face?" And he took the mask off. And I remember going, "Just put the hood back on."
Yeah.
We were like, I wasn't expecting that.
Like somehow the Bloodfang mask was way more appealing. It was almost like demasking Batman though. Like you just don't want to. You don't demask Batman.
Yeah.
Like you just like no, keep the mask on. I don't want to know your identity.
Why
I
don't
want
you
to.
just
I want
take
to
your
be
hood
Jim.
off and DPS with your face? You do a lot more than the swords.
That was the other thing though that made you like so much more mystique and for us was all the rogues we had ever met were dagger, and they all were just like, oh, if you don't play dagger, you're nothing, and then you were just like, no, I'm gonna sword. and then you just beat the pants off of everything.
You made people question. They're like, wait a
You made
second.
people question, you made people quit. And it was hilarious. I mean, to be fair, all three of us did.
Yeah,
in our
I
own
was
way,
about to
but
say
it was,
yes.
Yeah, no, we've all,
Yeah.
we, look, the secret to our friendship is we all have massive egos. But not with each other, because none of us play each other's roles.
No.
Except for Ryan. He does tank, but that's mostly because the other tanks can't do it. He also heals.
Well, you do this. Wait. Yeah, no. I just heal because, yeah.
Well, to be fair, you were a DPS. But then we found Ryan.
Yeah.
And you were just
do a
like,
little bit
there's no
of
point.
everything.
That's true.
But then we have our specialty.
Specialization, yeah.
Yeah. Breaking up guilds.
Yeah.
Breaking, yeah. That's... We're on a kill streak.
When we kick the bucket and we all get together, we'd be the craziest set of ghosts because we'd just be reciting weird game quotes, and
They'll never know.
people will be like, what the heck is wrong with these?
What time are they from?
I know, because I can quote Metal Gear Solid from 1998 to like 2015, and like all the games in between.
Anyways, John, what have you been up to on your stream? Are you playing any games that you really like, or are you looking forward to something?
Currently, we're playing Evil West, which is not a good game, so I don't even want to talk about it, honestly. It's really bad. But at the end of this month, I think we get The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, which has its own standalone mode now. I guess it's like a roguelike mode. Plus, it's going to run in like... they're upgrading it to 4K fidelity mode, 1440p upscaled to 4K performance mode. It'll have VR RTV support, which all the original versions didn't.
Are you thinking about doing it?
I'm definitely going to buy it. It's either going to be... I think I have to pay $50. If you already own it digitally, you can pay $10 and upgrade it from the PS4 version to the PS5 version.
Oh, that's really cool.
But I own it physically, so I just have to buy it again, I think. I'm not sure. I'll find out on the day. I haven't been able to find too much information on that. But it looks fine. I mean, it's a game that came out only a few years ago, and it looked really good then, so... I'm not really sure how we're remastering a game that's this new, but they canceled the multiplayer, so I guess this is a way for them to kind of maybe recoup costs of all that development time gone down the drain.
Hopefully it's worthwhile.
Hopefully. I mean, I think they're adding... they're obviously adding the No Return, which is the roguelike survival mode. But you'll also get, I think, some new speedrun mode, a guitar free play mode. I believe there's a developer commentary track mode. So there's some new things in there. I don't know if they're really like super exciting, but I get a new platinum.
Yeah, that's right. We all know about you being a platinum whore. What are you
I
at?
love platinum.
What are you at right now?
Let me check. I believe it's 252.
Okay.
It's 253, my bad.
Yeah, I was about to say.
With Evil West, it'll be 254.
Oh.
And that's a double platinum, but I don't think I'm going to do that. But
That
more
bad, huh?
excitingly, in March, we're getting Expeditions, a Mud Runner game, which is the sequel I've been waiting for to No Runner, which came out a couple years ago. Now, Expeditions is going to be, oh my god, that I'm excited for. I don't even know where to begin with that. It is just a third-person trucking off-road exploration building game, and I think they're going to allow you to do like drone flying so you can scout stuff out more. There's going to be more requirement for prepping before you just pick a vehicle and go do your missions, as well as I think there's minor base building. Not to like build it up too much, but like there's the downside too is like I think co-op isn't being added until a few months after release for polishing reasons, which after the release of SnowRunner, please polish as much as you need, because that was a horrible launch, like absolutely atrocious. I probably couldn't play the game for 3 or 4 months after release. Like it was just unbearable. I had corrupted saves, game crashes, trucks being just completely disintegrated into the ether, and I had no idea where they were, and I just couldn't get that truck back. So yeah, I really want them to take their time and get this released. But it does release March 5th, 2024 for all platforms. So I'm very excited.
Oh, that
That
sounds.
is,
Was there
yeah.
building in SnowRunner? Was there?
In technically yes, but you didn't actually do it. What you would do is, let's say you need to build a bridge, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
would deliver concrete slabs, and then go back and deliver like steel bars. And once you delivered all the requirements, the game would auto build the bridge for you. Now I
Oh,
think they're doing that same style in Expeditions, but I think you can pick like upgrades or something like that. I've been kind of staying a little bit blind to it, so like I'm only seeing like the minimum, so I know like, is this a real game? Is this going to be good?
mm-hmm.
But from
Oh,
what I can tell, I'm very excited.
I'm a little bit jaded because of that real life. Like, I was really excited about that game, and then you guys are like,
The day before,
you're like, that's
yeah,
not really
the
good.
day before it does not exist. It never existed. It released. It was a joke. I, yeah, it was 100% just a scam game.
But they had
I
so
mean,
much hype for it too.
oh yeah, it was Steam's number one wished game for forever.
Oh,
I actually think the game did so like because it was such a scam. I think Steam refunded everybody who bought it, whether you asked for it or not.
nice.
So the fact that even Steam was like, yeah, no, this is just bad. I think says a lot.
They're probably
Because
gonna
normally you can,
change. They're probably gonna change how they green lights and stuff like that now.
I would hope so, but I don't hold my breath. Normally you can only play a game for 2 hours, and then outside that 2 hour window you can't refund. So, but as far as SnowRunner goes, Expeditions.
Mm.
I am excited as all hell. It looks like they've slightly updated the graphics. There's new water depth markers. So in the current game in SnowRunner, when you go through the water, it will just be like water high, get fucked. Better have a snorkel, otherwise water will go into your engine and your engine will die, and you are now having to teleport back to your garage, or you have to get another truck to come out and basically rescue yourself, right?
And he
But
needs
now
to
when
drive.
you go through the water, there'll be red paint or like a red like stake, yellow stake, and a green stake. And if it's red, that means like don't go there. Red means it's deeper, and green is you're clear. So just small features like that make it way more accessible for people who don't necessarily want the same level of intensity that I'm looking for. But I
Granted,
think
I saw you stream SnowRunner and I was addicted.
it's
Because,
great. Yeah.
yeah.
My biggest complaint, legitimately, is if you play it for too long, your finger gets tired of holding the accelerator.
Uh,
That's it. That's the
uh,
only complaint. I'm buying a steering wheel for Expeditions, so that won't even be a problem.
oh, nice.
I am so excited. But yeah, it's I what I hope they do though is in SnowRunner you didn't have to, but you would take a scout truck, like let's say a Jeep Wrangler, right? And you would go to watchtowers and it would ping like a area, and that would show you stuff inside that area. After you get some of the better vehicles, the scout trucks are completely unnecessary. And I hope that they figure out a way to make the scout trucks more involved in
Mm-hmm.
Expeditions.
More
Because
utility.
yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
once you find maybe your sweet spot of like four trucks, you don't really need anything else. And
Mm-hmm.
in my example, I found a truck. It's a Russian truck with like a flat nose cab, and it's pretty much the strongest truck in the game.
Mm-hmm.
The only alternative to it is another Russian truck called the Taiga, and it is also like one of the most powerful trucks in the game. Both powerful in different ways, but the
Mm-hmm.
first one, somebody came into my stream and just grilled into me for 20 minutes, saying I had a whore truck.
The whole
Basically,
truck,
just
yeah.
the whore truck, yeah, because he was so upset that I was basically what he considered cheesing the game. But there's a different scenario there where it's like I'm trying to stream. I don't want to be stuck in the mud for 45 minutes. I'm trying to get things done. I'm trying to go for a platinum. I'm trying to be entertaining. I don't watching me be stuck in the mud and have to go get 14 trucks to get me out isn't entertaining for 7 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So, but stuff like that I love. I love that there's people that passionate about this game. It's like you're not playing it, as intensely as I want you to, and it's like to each our own. But I love the concept of that guy just being so upset because it wasn't the truck he liked. So
That's
I hope to see things like that in the new one. But yeah, with the new game, I think we're getting like newer winchers, anchors, jack screws. We'll be able to bring our own bridges now, which is a huge, huge thing in SnowRunner that we currently just can't bring a bridge. Can't bring your own bridge. Little bridge? Nope, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to be able to keep going on and on about this, by the way, because I'm going to be able to change things like my tire inflation on the go. Like, I can just lower my tire inflation for climbing up hills, going over mud, which will affect things like my fuel efficiency.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, things that we really wanted in SnowRunner, they are adding finally.
That's
to
great.
this.
I can't wait to see it. So end of March?
March 5th.
Okay. Well, you heard that. If you want to see Mudrunner, you gotta get on stream.
Twitch.tv/Luframir. LIULFRIMIR.
It would be an interesting game with an MMO kind of feel. Have people work
It's
together.
It's an interesting game just in the co-op. Like the amount of time that you don't realize you save when you're by yourself versus co-op is insane. Because, like, let's say I want to focus on this section, you can go focus on this section, and that could be like 20, 30 hours of stuff that we just managed to do with like maybe 4. Just because I don't have to do it. I don't have to go from one side of the map to the other side of the map on my own.
Or if one of us gets stuck.
Oh yeah, no, I've legitimately got stuck, loaded the game up on Leanne's PlayStation, gone and saved myself because it was cheaper, it was faster to get her over to me than to get another truck of mine to me. But yeah, it's really exciting, especially for things like mission selection, preparation, scenarios. Oh, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Remember, concussions are bad.
Until next time.
Bye.
Okay.